Well, welcome back to the 1010s podcast. My name is Michael Beck. I've got Adam Nielsen and
What's up?
Handsome Rob.
Oh, Handsome Rob. We're going
We're going with
this is
Handsome
going to
Rob.
stick.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
Handsome Rob's way easier to pronounce than whatever your real name
Give us your
is.
sultry radio voice.
This is Handsome Rob.
Yeah.
Did that work? Did that work?
Yeah.
Well,
it's
this is
great.
nice because Josh's wife Liz calls me Handsome Rob. I don't know her that well, but she calls me Handsome Rob.
It's true,
And
she does.
It's like the
kinda
nicest thing anyone does.
That's how
for me.
she knows him. Like, if we just say Robbie, she's who? Oh, Handsome Rob. Yeah,
Well, that was
okay.
like when I first met you. I called you Tanner. I still try to call you Tanner every
Oh,
time I
yeah.
see you.
Everybody calls me Tanner Faust.
Yeah. For those who don't know, he looks not really like Tanner Faust, but we'll go with
Not
it.
anymore. When I had short hair and shaved, I was very baby-faced like Tanner Faust, but now
I can
just
see
look
that
like
now.
a bum. That's where it came from.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
So, but I hate his guts, so.
Whoa. See, I don't
What?
understand. Yeah, dude, he's
How?
I know, right?
He's awesome.
He seems like a really
He's
nice
not.
guy. He thinks he's a cocky, arrogant prick, and I argue that would make him like
You'd be more
Tanner
like him,
Faust
if
more.
anything.
Yeah,
I know. I
thank
don't
you.
want two of me.
Finally, someone who agrees with
There's
me.
enough of one of me in this world that we don't need two, so.
Well, he's more successful, so he gets.
Yeah,
No.
he's like you, but a more successful you.
No, it's
And nicer.
it's doppelganger rule, which means if I find him and I kill him, I get to live.
I told one of the guys I work with once that I wanted to be just like him, but a more successful him.
The guy you work with or Tanner Faust?
No, the guy I work with, and he actually wasn't mad about it.
Oh. No, I get that.
That's weird. Anyway, so we're trying to be more organized because this podcast is somewhat kind of legit and people are listening to it, and we're getting feedback. So this is actually feedback from people that listen to it, and so we're trying to be a little bit more organized. So we're actually going to follow some kind of a
Outline.
outline for this
We
episode.
encourage the feedback, constructive or not.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely,
really.
yeah, and that's kind of the point why I wanted to bring it up, because if people are listening to this and they want to hear something in particular, I want them to tell us on our social media outlets, which are Facebook at 1010s Podcast, our Twitter at, which is the number 10 and then 10ths Podcast spelled out. We've got our Instagram, which is 1010s Podcast. You can find us on those. We got an email, but that's enough for now.
Website
We got the website, which is 10tenspodcast.com.
.com. We're big time.
We are very legit.
And
now.
that's got all of the information for the social media sites. That's got the links to the... I always screw this up. It's Shout Engine. For some reason I want to call it
Shout Engine.
Soundhound, but it's Shout Engine.
No.
Not right.
So it's
You know,
Shout
what
Engine.
you know what we need to get on lockdown is the .XXX link, so that we
Just
could
in case.
we could have 1010s podcast .XXX.
You don't know where this is going to go.
Whoa.
Look, we should get it on lockdown before somebody else gets it from us.
That's a good point, because if somebody steals it and then they do a porno version of this, we're
We
going to
have
be pissed.
We have to buy it back, and I don't
Right.
want to do that.
And
I
not
want
pissed
it
because
lose,
they
really.
stole our name, but more pissed because we didn't do it first.
we need .biz and .XXX,
For sure.
because
like
.biz just sounds professional.
I don't think it does. I think it's like the shady website with the guy in
For the
some
dark internet.
That's it.
dude.
third world country that's using, like
The
a...
only .biz website I know of was cokeandguns.biz, and that was a Vibrolux denim.
Yeah, it was. It was a rollerblading thing.
I got
from
disappointed
back in the
because
day.
Coke and Gun sounded like a way more interesting website.
Which
than
is
that.
why people probably went to it, but it
Yeah,
was just
I bet
jeans.
they got a ton of traffic, and then everybody was like, "Oh, these guys make jeans,
Skinny jeans.
skinny jeans. Nobody wants this shit."
I'm out. I don't want to see that shit. So as far as the format thing goes, the first thing we wanted to talk about was last weekend we went to Speedway because Speedway was having an open house
In Lincoln, Nebraska.
in Lincoln, Nebraska. So we took a little 6-hour road trip out to Lincoln.
In the comfortable Nissan Rogue.
Comfortable, reliable, boring.
It was perfect.
It's a little rough. You can take that shit from him?
He sits in my car, and we take my car. It's always my car because it's so much better.
I know, because he
Not to
only
mention,
buys 2-seat vehicles.
not to mention the fact that his car left a big giant stain in my driveway.
It's true, it did. I can't argue
So
that.
yet again-
we brought the Focus today, so that's not a
Oh,
problem.
nice. That should be another nice big stain.
Whoa!
Yeah, Adam can't seem to keep the oil in his truck, which stranded us when it was -8 fucking degrees
God,
outside.
It was the worst night ever.
And it was a goddamn blizzard.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And where were we? I don't even know where we were.
We weren't really anywhere. We were just on the highway, and they were like, there's been like 50 miles in any direction, and no one's hit a gas station. Let's throw a gas station here.
Yeah, we got really lucky. So the tow zone for AAA is like 120 miles, and we were like 110 miles
Is
away.
it really only 120?
Yeah, I think so.
They told me they would take my car anywhere within a 200-mile radius once they pick me up.
Oh, maybe that's the case.
I would imagine there's probably more.
I'm sure you could
Like,
pay
there's
for
a,
more.
There's
but-
there's a tier
Oh, maybe
your
we have
parents pay for
maybe
the
we
higher
have special.
tier.
You have a special AAA?
We've had it forever.
Maybe they give you a higher tier because you have such reliable vehicles.
That's true. We never.
That's a good
freaking
point.
used it. I've
use
used it once in my life.
That's a good point.
Michael owns old carbureted Camaros and
Couple
uses it once a week.
real quick factoids here. I've used it one time for the Camaro in my life. The second time I used it was for his S10.
Oh, nice.
And that's in 10 years of having it.
somehow he got away with never needing it despite owning two Volkswagen Audi Group products.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good. That actually would have been what
Actually,
we used the tow.
my Audi didn't leave me stranded until 3 weeks before I sold it. It never left me somewhere. It just
Never.
didn't start.
Yeah.
I was already, or I was
There.
home, getting ready to leave, and there was nothing.
And then an electrical
That was the
gremlin
only
happened,
time I ever had
and
problems.
that's where it left you.
Fuel pump, starter, whatever.
So anyway, we went to the open house. I wasn't expecting much because we had been to another open house the weekend before for a smaller shop here in Des Moines, and it was terrible.
Total letdown.
The phrase open house is completely lost on those people because most of the doors were closed.
It was more of a vendor expo of all their friends.
Yeah. So it was
my
come get
boss-
some stickers and we'll talk to you and try to sell you some fuel.
My boss has been here his whole life. He's into the muscle car scene, and he said he doesn't even bother going to that anymore because it's just not worth it.
No.
I understand now.
Should have asked him first.
Well, so I had been there a couple years ago, and it was cool because everything was open, and you could see them fabricating cars, and the paint booth was open, and no.
Yeah, to me, an open house should be like, well, we closed our door, 5 o'clock, we shut it down on a Friday. Saturday morning, we opened it up, and here we are.
Yep.
That's how an open
All
house
the doors
should
are
be.
open.
I agree.
So when we went to Speedway, I had low expectations for that. That's a lot bigger place, obviously, but I
huge.
still had low expectations. That place, just starting with just the warehouse, was crazy.
Couldn't believe it.
So I looked it up. It's 500,000 square feet.
Oofta. It's a big building.
And
it's
it's-
3 stories tall. 4
Yeah,
stories
it's-
tall.
It's
They
gotta
got
be.
40-foot tall pallet shelving.
Yeah, that was nuts. And then they've got their pictures that we have online they had more than just parts in there because they had, what were those cars that
Those
were on
like
the shelves?
go-kart
Yeah,
bodies
it
and
looks like
stuff.
go-karts and pedal carts.
And then there was like it was obviously a C5 Corvette front end,
Yeah.
fiberglass mold, but
Yeah.
it looked narrower than the real thing, but not small enough to be a kid's car. I don't know what
It
it
was like a funny car front end or something.
Could have been. Who knows?
Yeah, so there was some, they had I don't know if they had some modifieds. They had some midgets. Isn't that what those are?
They had some midgets. They had a full-size sprint car there. There was one of the national champs from last year modified car was there.
Yeah, and then they had a pretty sweet raffle going on. They actually had quite a bit of, not parts, but I guess, safety gear and stuff like that.
Stuff for sale.
Yeah, stuff that you can actually buy pretty easily. And then they've always got that for sale thing. I don't remember what that was called, but
The garage
garage
sale?
sale?
yeah, they do that all the time. I mean, that's on their website too.
Yeah,
so.
I pulled up their website because I was, when we were there, I was looking at helmets because I need a helmet. And none of the ones they had in the garage sale fit me. And the ones that they had in the rest of the area that you could buy that day were the same price as what you would buy online. So I waited because I'm going to probably use my tax return to buy it. But I looked at the garage sale, and it's there online. There's lots of interesting stuff. They got some scratch and dent. They've got some overstock. They've got some returned. There's all sorts of good stuff there for pretty good price.
Yeah. It seems like they get a lot of headers through there, which makes sense. I'm sure that shit gets destroyed in shipping. So if you want some scratch and dent, small block headers,
Well,
they got them.
That Engine Masters video proved that some dents, not a big deal.
Doesn't make a difference at all. Not even close.
I mean, as long as there's not a hole in it, who cares?
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. That was definitely an experience. Nothing compares to the museum they have there on site.
Holy cow.
Out of control.
Easily
And
the
I
best
thought-
museum I've seen.
For sure that was going to be a little tiny, like, I didn't look it up online. I knew they had that museum. I thought it was going to be like a little sprint car museum. Have some, I don't know, few modified small blocks on stands,
Yeah,
a little donation jar.
Yeah, I was
It blew my mind.
expecting it to be like a typical small town car show. You get some older cars that some old guy owns and just lends it to him. Local guys, of course. Nothing to what they actually had.
I mean, they had more like small block quad cam setups than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, like I didn't know that was even a thing, and they had 3, 4, 5 different variations of
They
it.
had them for every OEM. They had that picture of us on our Facebook page now, standing around looking like morons. That was a Studebaker. Was that a V8?
I think it was a 12.
Or was
it was an 8.
Was it an 8?
Yeah, I can't remember what it is now. I posted it.
Adam and I are doing weird things because it's a hand clutch.
Yeah, and it's like really like the handle's maybe 8 inches long.
It made no sense to me. Right now, I'm looking back and I have no idea how that works.
Yeah, it's got to be tough because how do you hand clutch and shift
and drive?
Like, I don't know.
It was the 30s. Safety didn't matter.
It was a wild time. I can't believe any of us made it. Like, enough people made it out on the other side of the 30s.
Made it this far. Who knows how?
Yeah.
They had that V16 small block that somebody had welded together as part of a dare.
Yeah, it was a couple of people, like a family of fabricators. Hey, let's see if we can
put this
weld
together.
2 of these together and make a V16.
So they made a V16. They had small blocks that had been cut in half both directions.
It was for like a midget circle track car or something like that.
Yeah, they had a V4. It made like 320 horsepower. They had a bunch of flat fours. I mean, this place went on and on and on and on. And they had not only they had engines,
cars.
but they had complete cars. They had Indy cars in there.
The Bonneville Salt Flat, 2 of the Bonneville Salt Flat cars.
Yeah, that was crazy. The crazy thing about the Bonneville Salt Flat car, which you pointed out, is the front wheels are stainless steel.
No, I think they were 6061 aluminum.
Yep.
Oh, they were aluminum?
Billet aluminum.
And then like the tread is actually like a knurl.
Yeah.
But there was no tire on it.
No,
It's
no
just
rubber.
a piece
it's
of
just
it's
a
metal
solid
disc.
piece of aluminum.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. I guess it makes sense, but it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
when
crazy
you're doing
350 miles an hour.
Yeah, 300-400 miles an hour. I guess that's for
it's basically
extended periods of time at that point.
Yeah,
I mean, top fuel cars do 320, but they do it for 3 seconds.
Yeah,
these guys are doing it over miles of road.
Yeah,
or
salt.
lack of road.
Yeah,
salt.
Yeah, and how narrow it is crazy because it's just wide enough to get the motor in. That's probably how they determine how wide that
Their
is.
packaging is impressive.
Yeah, the rear end, how you could get a rear end smash to get some sort of differential between 2 wheels in the back of there is amazing.
Yeah, and then I don't know if the one that was in there was or not, but there is a variation of the power plant that was in that car that was twin turboed. So somewhere, I don't think it was even that one, but somewhere they stuffed turbos in there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's
then
pretty amazing.
Keep it from being cool enough not to self-destruct at that level of ridiculousness.
Yeah, where you have almost no way to channel air into it because it's whatever it was,
I would think
2 feet wide.
At some point, you've got to be going so fast that any air inlet would create a low pressure zone, and any air moving by it would just go by it.
Yeah, you wouldn't go in anymore.
Yep.
Subaru hood scoop style.
Yep. And then they had the Cadillac Le Mans car.
Yeah, the North Star Le Mans prototype. I lusted over that for quite some time.
Yeah, we couldn't
carbon fiber.
We couldn't
things.
even drag Robbie away from that.
Yeah, it was carbon fiber.
The first time he's ever been interested in a Cadillac.
That's true. I have rebuilt a North Star V8 engine, but there was nothing like that.
It was the worst experience of his life.
That's actually
was
true.
it bad?
It was complicated. Well, I was in college, so it was like, here's this wrecked North Star, just tear it apart and put it back together. I was like, okay,
figure it out.
And I did it.
Aren't they like multi-cammed and stuff? They're
they
not.
have 4 cams.
Yeah, it was pretty complicated, and especially for at the time, I had never done anything close to that. The closest I came was like my SR20.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive engine, but it was maybe a little before its time.
Yeah, I think that's probably a safe thing
It was
to say.
just too complicated, too difficult to manufacture.
Yeah.
It's no push rod single cam LS. That's for sure.
It's no push rod. That's for damn sure.
No,
And then
I lusted over that for a long time, and I read it. It was it actually finished every American Le Mans race it entered, which is pretty freaking impressive.
Yeah.
Then
third in the actual Le Mans, 24 hours of Le Mans.
Yeah.
I think it was third overall or third in class, one of the two.
Yeah.
What year was that one?
2002.
Look at this guy. He's on top of it.
He is.
I looked it up. Not only
for
did
God's sake, he stood there for long enough.
yeah, I did. Not only did I lust over it there, I went home and like lust over it some more. More fun facts. 600 horsepower. That's really all I got.
Let's hear the bumper. Let's hear the bumper sticker.
The bumper stickers. One said, well, it was sponsored by like OnStar and all that other stuff. So one sticker said equipped with OnStar, and then on the other side it said my other vehicle is an STS, which is super cocky.
So, do you think when they crash that someone comes over their voice.
I really hope
We've
somebody calls.
detected that your car's been involved in an accident.
I would like to think that their humor is.
Yeah, I think the pit chief says that. He goes, "Damn it, Carl! This is serious. I've been in an accident."
No, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Then the other car I lusted after was the Shelby Series 1 because I'd never seen one in person.
Which is a car I didn't like.
Michael and I both completely dismissed it, just breezed right by it, and then I saw you standing by there, like trying to cover your boner with both hands in a hat.
That's not even true. I didn't even try to cover it. It was just right there.
This is full erection.
Yep.
And so I doubled
Not
back.
even the pants.
I doubled back to check it out, and it was significantly more interesting than I had thought it
And then the
was.
guy comes up to me and explained it to me. He's like, "Yeah, this is the only Shelby car that Shelby ever made without a manufacturing backer." You know, because he did the GLHs with the Dodge and obviously the Shelby Mustangs and stuff like that. But
I thought for sure it just had a 5-liter, Ford motor in it.
No,
I assumed it was just a rebodied Mustang.
It's got a 4-liter Aurora motor, which is just super bizarre. So it's pretty cool.
it's a neat car.
I don't know. Still don't really want one.
10 out of 10. Wood Apex.
Yeah, it's not on my list, but it's still pretty awesome.
Yeah. So if you find yourself anywhere near Nebraska, even if you have to drive,
Don't even be near it. Just like in the Midwest, go out of your way, drive there.
Make
Take
a
an
reason to
entire
go
day.
see it. It is incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the best automotive museums in the country. I would be.
I went to the San Diego Car Museum, and it was maybe a tenth of it compared to the Lincoln one. Oh, it's not even close.
yeah,
Gearhead heaven for sure.
135,000 square feet. I don't know if I mentioned that.
You didn't.
It's
3 stories.
a lot of toys. If you're into, some people are into car toys.
Yep,
if you're into
there's a lot
that,
of
There's really
lot of
cool
die-cast.
automobilia in there. Not even just like, the engines and the cars, but there's a lot of car related stuff that was still quite interesting.
Yeah.
They had a whole wall of monkey wrenches. I mean,
that's what you're into. It's
yeah,
there.
It's kind of cool to see like the progression of tools, because those were tools from like the 19-teens,
Yeah.
And you look at that and you're like, how did they do anything?
So it's pretty cool. Check that out. Even if you got to drive a day to get there, I think it's totally worth it. We're going to go back because we need to spend more time there, and it was a madhouse.
And it
when
is
we were there.
only
There were a lot of people
it was
there.
free for us that last weekend, but normally it's $10 or like $15.
Oh, I don't even
Whatever
care
it
how much
costs,
money
worth
is.
it.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
open on weekends?
I want to say yes. I guess I didn't look.
My
I
dad
don't
thinks
know.
it's not only open on weekends by
Special holidays and stuff.
like, no, if you can get a certain sized group and they will open it up for you.
What if we just pay for the group rate anyway and just go in there and have a guided tour?
I think we should.
I would not be mad about that.
Do we need a
at all.
10 tenths guided tour?
I think we should ask them if they would be willing to let us go in there and take pictures and
we need
write
a 10,
an article about
we
it.
could-
10
yeah.
tenths guided tour of. We'll take anybody that wants to go.
It could be a 10-tenths meet and greet with all our fan.
We'll take my dad.
Yeah.
and
We'll take the 3 people that listen to this podcast.
we'll take my dad, and he'll upset you with how much he knows about everything that's in there.
Wait, didn't you send him a picture? No.
Yeah, I sent him a picture. There was they had a little Edelbrock display, and apparently Vic Edelbrock built, or no, sorry, it was Mickey Thompson.
Yep.
Mickey Thompson in the early 60s built, so Pontiac made like this Slant 4, which was like their 289 or whatever it was that they made. I don't remember what the cubic inch displacement was, but they just hacked off a bank of cylinders.
And not down the middle. They made it lopsided, basically.
Yeah. So it still had the valley. It just didn't come up on the other side. And
Yeah.
and when they're bare block, we used to have one. When they're bare block, you not painted, you can see where the cylinder bore marks were. So, but then Mickey Thompson took one of these, like built some sort of crazy hemispherical head for it, and then put a giant like 871 blower on the top of it. And I took a picture of this thing, just the motor. You couldn't see Mickey Thompson's name in the background. My dad's never been there before. Nothing. Just took a picture of it from a distance. You could barely tell what it was. And I said, Dad, look at this Pontiac. He goes, yeah, Mickey Thompson built those. That's a Tempest motor. Like, seriously? What? Jesus.
It is $15, and they are only open on weekdays.
Take work off. Go.
Yeah, take work off.
$15.
And there's a guided tour every day at 1 p.m. for the 2nd and 3rd floor, and the guided tour takes about an hour and a half.
Ooh, we should do that.
That would be nice.
That would be quite interesting.
I'd be disappointed that they didn't do the first floor though.
We could
That's
skip
a lot
the
of stuff
toy
I'd like
room.
to see or to hear
I
about.
can say that they do it on the first
Because
floor.
they had that Toyota Motorsports engine that I could not figure out why I didn't say TRD.
I still think that was a new arrival.
I figured it out.
Oh, man.
There is a place it's Toyota Motorsports GmbH in Germany. They do high-end engines, car designs, R&D, all sorts of weird stuff. and I'm pretty sure that's what that engine was. I don't know. Blew my mind. Anyways.
We actually did research for the show as opposed to the
Yeah,
other
we're
show.
trying to be
fucking winged them
better.
And yeah, we made
We're
some
trying to be
mistakes.
better.
Yeah, we're trying to get better at this.
Like we said, we took your criticism to heart, and we're doing better.
For the
Trying to
record,
do
the
better.
only feedback I've gotten recently was that we don't talk about imports enough. You guys with your
I never heard that.
Your carbureted Audi crap.
I never heard that. I never heard that.
I got
also,
direct
last time I
text
checked,
message.
Audi's
was
not
that
in this country.
LePetri?
No,
Really?
no, he hasn't said anything negative or positive. Or he's just like, it's cool, man.
I figured he would tell you that we don't talk about Scions enough or something like that.
No.
I hope he listens to this.
Yeah, someone else said we need to talk about more imports.
I didn't hear that, so I think we're just going to carry on.
We're going
as
to keep pushing. No more of this carbureted Audi.
I don't
crap.
want a carburetor.
Whoa.
What's that? No, there is a list that we're supposed to stick to, and we're getting off topic. All right, so anyway,
He's a project
topic of
manager.
the
He
night.
loves his list.
back to the list. This right here, this paper right here. Okay, so
God, prepare for the biggest argument
this is
you've
gonna
ever
be-
heard in your
oh
life,
my
people.
God. So what we're doing, what we decided we're going to do is we're going to do the dream car garage topic.
This is the no holds barred. No, money's not an object. Just buying cars.
See, I'm so Dutch. Even while I'm doing this,
It's so much money.
I still,
Why would you ever spend this much money?
I still
I even-
looked at the prices and ruled cars out based on
I
prices,
went online.
even if money wasn't an option.
I went online and I need that. I need illuminated carbon fiber door sills lined in leather. Yes, please.
I can't believe you actually did the options stuff because
Fuck yeah.
I didn't go that deep.
No, I didn't go.
Oh,
that
I
deep
did
either.
because I knew it was going to get quickly out of hand. And
That's because
for that
you got
car,
weird cars.
for that car, it's quite expensive.
Okay, so we have categories, which I don't think I'm going to reveal yet. I think
I
we'll
don't
do
know.
them.
Maybe we.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah, because then
list them
people
out.
can kind of think about it as.
Should we do?
as they
Okay,
listen.
What
so
they
here's
would pick.
here's the categories. So the first one we're going to do is hypercar, and so that's, I mean, however you define.
We're
hypercar.
talking low production number,
Like 4 in the
ridiculously high horsepower. No, because nowadays everything's
like 10.
500 to 1,000.
Nah.
Like the P1 they made 499, I think.
Yeah, they
But
made,
even that's
the
a pretty
918
high number.
they made
There's only
918 of them.
There's only 4 like a Hypersports.
yeah.
So I mean, that type of car.
Yep. Next category is everyday supercar. So this is going to be your quote unquote budget supercar.
Cars that you could see driving around West Des Moines or any
That's a good way to put it.
relatively well
affluent
off.
neighborhood
Yeah.
that's not out of
Anything in West Glen, really.
control. People that listen. We have somebody in Japan that's going, what the fuck is West Glen? right now?"
Actually, I know that guy. He understands what
Damn
we're
it.
talking about.
Adam, I'm trying to put on a perception here that
Shout
we're more
out to you,
successful than
Pinkston,
we
for
were like-
making us international. Thank
International.
you.
Thank you very much. Obtainable dream car. So this is something that
We could buy now.
if we sold all of our assets, that we think we
And
could.
took out a pretty decent loan. We could still do
A
it.
loan
swing.
that you could swing. A loan that you could manage. Not something that's
Basically
gonna
a house payment.
drown you.
yeah, house payment level of loan for a car.
Mine's cheaper than that, even.
Is it? I don't think mine's
Mine's not
even
bad.
that expensive. We'll talk about the price on that because I did look up that one. I looked up a couple of these other prices, but next category is rich guy daily driver.
Which is going to be the biggest.
That's going to be the
ever.
argument
because
and
they
you have-
already know which one I picked, and they both despise.
And you
it.
don't even know what's written on this piece of paper, and it's going to start a fight.
So you guys are going to tell me how boring I am.
Oh yeah,
Mine's not boring, and you're going to go, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
that's not a daily driver.
This next category was just vintage, I guess. So
Vintage, anything 20, 30 years older
Yeah,
or older,
it's
something
kinda-
that is no longer produced.
and has not been produced for 20 years, let's say.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go. No, mine's
20?
Yeah, mine's 20.
Okay.
Well, one of mine is 20.
And then the last category was
His vintage isn't really that.
I
Vintage.
know.
That's not true. I fucking proved
He
you wrong.
considers his 240 a vintage car.
bullshit.
You said that.
what year is it?
95. It's 20 years.
It's 20 years. I take it back.
That's the category.
Actually,
Stand corrected.
by the state's definition, it's 30 years, which makes my car vintage.
Damn it.
We're going with 20 for this argument.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
And then the last one was race car. So this is full blown, not driving it to the track because you can't.
Oh, see,
I asked
I didn't go that far. I went with like a car that was intended with track in
a
mind.
240
from-
SX.
No, it's not. It's not a 240 SX.
With an RB20.
No,
5.
25.
26. Get
36?
Ah,
Is there a 36?
No,
There's
it's
a
it's
VR.
a Gallo 12.
Gallo 12? Bro,
Gallo
24.
24.
Get the fuck out.
My bad. No, for me that one was cars that were basically designed for tracks from the production. That if I would buy it and then strip it down and make it more of a track more from that, but
Well, if you decide to change your answer, that's fine.
yeah,
I asked the question.
You guys
was
totally
this-
went
was
different
this
directions than me on that. I know.
Cars that came from the factory as track cars or cars that you bought and then turned into a track car?
I'm okay with both answers.
I thought we decided on both.
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked the question and we decided whatever you want, just pick a car that has been built into track spec.
All right. So one more time. Categories: hypercar, everyday supercar, obtainable dream car, rich guy daily driver, vintage, and race car.
Let's get hypercar out of the way because it's going to be easy and none of us are going to argue about it.
We're starting with Robbie because he's probably going to have the least offensive answers.
That's probably true.
Also, Katie did a list.
We're going to come back to Katie at the end.
Yeah, our producer's got to have some pretty good
And for those of you playing along at home, compare her list to Adam's list, and I want to see if people agree with Robbie and I. We have a hunch that Katie's list is much, much better than Adam's.
What are you doing?
100% chance.
I don't think it is.
All right.
Robbie, hypercar.
My hypercar. The obvious answer for me is the be-all, end-all is the 2015 McLaren P1.
Boom.
I mean, but although I did pick a different car because I was afraid you guys would both pick that as well. But
Okay.
for me, McLaren P1. My other one is a Hennessy Venom GT.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Both of those cars are
And the reason I like it,
the correct answer.
and I actually prefer driving. I would prefer driving the Hennessy more because it has a standard 6-speed. I'm not a fan of paddle shifts.
I can get that. I understand that.
All right, that's done with hypercar.
Sure. If you're into having a rebodied Lotus that's made in the Midlands of
fucking love
England,
Lotus.
Look at him talking shit.
as your
Look at him talking shit.
hypercar, you can have any car you want.
Fast as fuck.
You want a stretched Lotus, is what you want.
I
really do.
I want this to be written down on the calendar. This was the day when I agreed and he argued.
about
No
an
kidding.
LS-based car, no less.
Yeah, what's wrong with
it's
you?
It's wrong. Just want you to be aware that your car has your hypercar.
Jeez.
You can have anything you want. Your hypercar has push rods.
That's fine. That's fine.
Reliable hypercar.
It's
Who doesn't want
it's
that?
It's a fiberglass, effectively a kit car that came from the Midlands of England
Holy shit.
What?
and was assembled by a speed shop in Texas.
I love that.
Sounds like
It's not a hypercar.
I'm with Robbie on
It
this.
goes
one. It's a
279 miles an
yeah.
hour.
Boom. Fast car.
A
Nope,
neat
terrible
feature,
car.
it has 3 settings. For when you want to just cruise around, West Des Moines, it's got one setting for 800 horse. And
Just,
then
your
there's another one
cruise
for
speed.
1,000. There's another one for 1,200.
Boom.
That would be so much fun for me.
Wasn't it you that told me that when we're billionaires, every car we own has to make at least 1,200 horsepower? This fits your requirement.
Yeah, but I'm expecting you to spend more than
I'm Dutch.
$50 on it.
I'm Dutch.
It's not
We've
50.
been down
They're
this
not
road.
that cheap. They're actually.
It's $1 million.
Yeah.
It's $1 million car.
It's $1 million plastic
No,
car
it's
with
fiberglass.
a Corvette motor in it.
I don't care.
That's your hyper.
This is my car.
Moving on.
What's your car, Adam?
Mine's the Koenigsegg 1-to-1.
I don't like the looks
Yeah,
of that.
I can't argue with that. I actually wanted to put that down.
Okay, actually, let me double back because I want to say one thing. I'm with Robbie about the P1. I have said since the day that car came out that if someone walked up to me and said you can have one car but you got to drive it the rest of your life,
That's the car.
I without any hesitation would take the P1. The reason I chose the 1-to-1 is because while the P1 is bonkers, it's still, I think, much more tame and livable, and therefore would make a car that I could live with the rest of my life. But the 1-to-1 is a track-focused, bonkers, insane car. Like, the guy that built it, everything he's ever built's insane, and he says this is insane.
Yep.
So you know this car is insane.
Yeah, I do love that car. I think it's incredible in every way. But to me, I'm still too much of a body guy. When I look at it, I'm like, visually, it's okay.
So one of the things I love about that car is that I'm an aero nerd.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
fucking love aero stuff, and that car was built to be on a track. It's got insane amounts of downforce. It's got all these canards and splitters and diffusers and ducting and
Well,
this
then, yeah,
giant
like, the wing that
adjustable
moves.
wing, and so I've got some specs on it because I went in that deep.
This is gonna be a
You
long
ready for
podcast.
this?
I don't know if I am. Make it short.
Okay, 1,360 horse. But also weighs 1,360 kilograms, which is where the 1-to-1 comes from, for those who don't know. They come with an E85 tune, so all the Subaru guys will fucking love them. Right?
I think it's the better. It's the
I can-
real E85 though.
I can take a picture of me
Yes.
with the yellow handle
You can.
in my hypercar and post that shit on Instagram, and every Subaru owner in central Iowa will like it.
That's true.
It's
I don't
just
know.
what
You
they
might
do.
just shut them down. It's like
way.
the end-all, be-all picture of E85 Phillips. Well, fuck you. Here it is.
And then it does 0 to 248 miles an hour, which for you British bastards is 300 kilometers an hour in 20 seconds, which is staggeringly
not bad.
fast. Especially for a car that wasn't built to be flat out fast. It was built to be fast on a track, and it can still do that kind of shit.
All right, are you ready?
God, this is going to be
bad.
bad. Are you ready to argue with
ripped
him?
on us.
God, I'm so
I did not want to argue about the hypercars. I thought it'd be
He's
so
wrong,
easy.
other than the P1. Robbie is. I agree with the P1. I agree with the 1-to-1 absolutely and wholeheartedly because I wanted to put it
the
down.
more
Just
you
to
hate
note,
it, the more I
everyone,
like
this will
it.
be the last car he agrees with me on.
That's true.
Pagani Zonda R Revolution.
No.
The Zonda R is a track car.
So, first of all, Adam.
That was my track car. Then I decided that wasn't weird
So
enough.
this was a car that came out after that one. Remember they did all the
there's like
70,000.
50 different
Yep.
Zonda. There's more variations of Zonda than there are Zondas.
So this one was more power, 800 horsepower, 1,000 kilograms.
Only 800 horsepower?
Only 800 horsepower.
1,000 kilograms.
Shit's
My
weird.
lowest one was what, 1,200?
I'm
Yours
sorry.
was 13?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What's your Corvette weigh?
Jesus.
What's it weigh?
I can't remember now.
I'm sorry. Did it do a Nürburgring lap time? Because I don't
know. Did the GTR beat yours?
I don't think it did.
The only
because-
reason that my car doesn't have the fastest Nürburgring lap time is because the Nürburgring was like, no more of this shit. You guys are going to
No,
kill
I don't think
somebody.
that's true. I think
You guys
McLaren
did kill somebody.
has the time because they did it before
Not the
that
McLaren,
happened.
the 1-to-1.
Well, that's true.
And
His
McLaren
car-
won't release their time.
Because
It's all
good.
It's
because-
all hearsay
because-
and conjecture.
Pagani is run by an Italian. Of course, they release their time.
I can't believe
Even
it
if
made
they
it
did
around
it
a lap without starting on fire.
Even if
It's
they
not a
did it
Porsche.
in the dark.
No, that's an Italian thing.
Oh. Well, Porsche's bursting.
Actually, yeah, now it's Porsches. So
Just
true,
no
it is
reason.
watch
at all.
yourself. 6 minutes, 47
Supercars in
seconds.
general.
And guess what? That is currently the production car lap time.
That's because nobody can beat
Hold
it
it.
anymore because they're not allowed to even try.
Yeah.
Well, you had a chance in your plastic mid-engine Corvette
It's not
thing.
plastic.
And they didn't.
The 1-to-1, I bet it does like a 630.
It might. I don't know. It also
What we
weighs
should
300 more kilograms than my car, so don't hold your breath.
We
Too
should
Yeah,
have
but
a-
it
we
makes
should-
400, 500 more horse.
Power's not always the answer, Adam.
Yes, it is.
What? No.
Wrong.
How can he? You can't
So here's
even
the thing.
argue that.
You're arguing with me, but I'm agreeing with your car. It's him that's wrong.
Well, so
It's
Actually-
a hypercar. It's 2.2 million euros.
I almost
As a hypercar, this is a legitimate option.
the
Yes?
Zonda. Yeah, I'll agree.
See, I don't-
The
His
Zonda
is-
R was on my list. Yeah, there's like
I don't
4
like-
or 5 1-to-1s. So
I'm not a big fan of the Pagani because the interiors are all blinged out and it just looks super.
Not
These,
the R.
these are
Not the-
stripped.
not the
yeah,
R.
stripped out
these are
by race
stripped out.
cars.
I'm thinking the Hyara then.
The
right?
standard R. Apparently, he claims the Revolution or whatever
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
Try-
street.
try to say
so,
without
are you
sounding
telling me it's
pretentious.
street legal?
yeah, I think so.
Because the R is not.
Right.
And if it's not street legal, it's not a hypercar. It's a track car.
How's it not a hypercar? If
It's a
not?
Can't
track
drive it on the
car.
road.
That wasn't one of the. That was not one of the
It's
things
a
that we
track
said.
car.
No, I don't know.
I guess that was just assumed.
I thought it was assumed.
Yeah, it seems how these rules are coming out now.
I thought this was a car. I could
now that we're
drive to
getting
the
into an
grocery
argument
store.
because I actually spent a little bit of time and did
This is
some
a car I
research
want
on
to
some
take
of
to
my
the gas
cars
station and take pictures
instead of pulling up some random shit out of my ass. Yeah, Koenigsegg makes a fast car. Let's go with that. Actually did some research,
I did.
and now you guys are making up new rules.
All right, moving on. Supercar. Let's argue about supercars instead.
Supercar.
Robbie, you tell us your wrong answer first.
All right, I'm gonna go with just one. I have 2 on here just in case it was matched. My first choice for a everyday supercar is a 2009 Ferrari F430 Scudi. I can't even say it.
Scuderia.
Scuderia Spider 16M. It is the
Spider?
Yep. It's the only car I would buy as a convertible, and it is the only car I would buy in red.
How much power does
Ferrari
that make?
makes the only car.
Not
I
a
would-
clue. Doesn't matter.
Ferrari
I'm
would
not
make
buying
the
it for
only
power.
car.
It is my everyday supercar.
Ferrari makes the only car I would buy in a convertible as well, but it's not the F430.
I love the F430.
This isn't good. What are you gonna say?
It's the 458.
I said the F488.
That's not the car I picked. But I'm saying if I had
Oh,
to
okay.
buy a convertible, it'd be the 458.
Okay, I got nervous there for a minute. I was like, did we all pick Ferraris? Because that's
No,
really boring.
no, you know that I didn't pick a Ferrari. You know what car I picked. Tell me what car I picked.
He picked the R8 V10,
Obviously.
Moving on.
which is Let's be honest.
V10 plus. Plus.
Okay.
What, does that mean it's going to break down just about half as often as your Audi?
no. There's more sensors. There's more. They have more sensors in there.
610 horsepower. 413 foot-pounds
I'm
of
sorry.
torque.
Did you say 6'10"?
I feel like we're getting away from the whole point of this.
6'10".
The whole point of
No.
driving
Because the Audi R8, like every time you see a journalist who drives this car, and they're like, you could drive this car every day. It is a well-mannered, easy to drive, good-looking car
Right, okay.
that you could live with easily.
Right. I don't want to hear about horsepower and 0 to 60 times.
3.2 seconds.
Yeah, this is a car you're driving on the street. You are driving it to the mall. I don't want to hear about how fast it is.
I do
on the
want to
track.
say one thing about my car.
Okay.
The Huracan and the R8 Plus are basically the same car. And I do like the Huracan looks better, but I can't own it because I am partial to Audi. It's not the only Audi on my list either.
Like we've said, it's Stockholm syndrome, so I can't
It
really
is.
argue.
Yeah, he
There's
can't
nothing,
argue.
there's nothing he can do about
argue.
it.
He can't
Nothing.
argue with me because he's there too.
I get it.
So I wanted to put the Huracan. I did. And I have
It's
a
a
huge
gorgeous
argument
car.
with you about it.
Yeah, it's a
I don't
long-standing
think
argument.
it's as good looking as it could have been.
That's a really dumb
I don't
thing
like the
to
backs.
say.
I
That's
don't
a
think-
poor thing to say.
I don't think it's
I don't
as good looking
understand
as
how
it
you
could have
can
been.
say that.
Because it could have looked like anything they wanted to make it look like, and it's just kind of Audi-fied Lamborghini, and I'm not big on that.
All right. Moving on.
So I put the 488 Spider, and the reason that both of you are wrong is because
on.
you effectively, Robbie, picked a track car.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry, Scuderia. Do you know what
Scuderia?
that means?
Scuderia means track car.
It means team in Italian, which is what they call their racing team.
They're either Challenges or Scuderias.
So you picked
All
the wrong
race
car.
cars.
You picked the wrong car because you picked a big Audi TT, and I picked the correct car because I picked the 488 Spider, which is the most drivable Ferrari that they currently make. It's not the Scud or the Challenge or any of that shit.
But
It
it's
goes
gonna break.
0
it's
to
gonna
62.
start on fire while you're stuck in traffic,
It's not
and
a
you're
Porsche.
gonna burn to the ground.
It's
No,
not a
Ferraris do that too.
That's the 488. That's the 488, not the 4. That's the 458, not the 488.
The 488 hasn't been out long enough to have a traffic fire.
0 to 62 in 3 seconds, 10.45 quarter mile. I'm going to blast by all of you with the top down, and Robbie's spine's going to come out through the top of his head.
Yeah, but I'll be the one with the girl next to me.
Obtainable dream
That's
car.
not true. We'll all
Not
have
even
girls.
true.
We'll all have girls next to us. Are you kidding me?
She would have run out of Robbie's car because she's tired of the
Yeah,
ride and
she'll
the
be
fact
like-
it has no fucking
She
radio
won't-
in it.
She won't have
Radios are a luxury you don't need.
Is it supposed to
This
be
is an everyday car.
If I had a Ferrari,
Robbie's losing
I would
this
not
battle.
need
He
a
lost.
fucking radio.
lost.
Listen to
Obtainable
that
dream
engine.
car.
Obtainable dream car.
Mine, you guys are gonna fucking argue, and I don't even care.
Let's let him start then, 'cause
No,
I doubt you and I are going to
let-
fight.
No, I want to hear Robbie's first. We're gonna
Mine's
stick
too
with
easy.
our
This
order.
is too easy.
Yeah,
you guys
he's-
can both pick
He's
mine.
gonna be
Okay, go.
The obvious one.
No, we didn't.
It's
pick
gonna be the
yours.
GTR.
We did not.
Yeah, it'd be the 2001 Nissan Skyline GTR.
No.
Ooh, 2001.
Although, to
Ooh,
throw
that's an R34, isn't it? Or
yeah,
30.
it's an R34.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
the-
fucking
the-
into
the-
that.
Yeah, so that would be number one. Realistically, if I wanted to buy a car today, I would buy a 1999 Nissan Silvia Spec R.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm good with that. Pound it.
R34 is my favorite
I
Nissan.
agree.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
Okay.
all right, moving on.
Do I need to go next?
No, because I don't think you'll argue with me. I think you'll actually like my answer. You'll just be like, "Why the fuck did you pick that?"
Remember, this is any car. Wait a minute. So what? First of all,
Price range.
yeah, price range
Just
before we go on to the next car.
ballpark. I understand you probably didn't research it much.
The
but
GTR would probably be like 50, but realistically, the Spec R would probably be like 30. Really,
You could probably get it.
I think
you
I
could
could
get
import
R34
one
a
for
little
30.
cheaper. You could buy
Did
an
they-
R34 in England for nothing.
Did they send those here?
no, the S15s never were in America.
Okay.
I'd have to import it.
So you couldn't do it yet, just like the R34.
Give it a couple years, it'd be legal. But yeah,
Not that I care about that.
No.
For this particular argument, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, say 99s. We're not quite.
It'd probably take me that long to find the one that I picked anyway.
actually
so.
want
There is one in Des Moines, like my dream version of it. It's in the Nissan Infinity calendar. If I could buy one today, it'd be that car. It's perfect.
Interesting.
Okay, guy that has that car, if you ever end up listening to this, Robbie will buy it from you.
I think he was actually trying to sell it, but obviously I can't afford it right now without taking a loan.
Get to Robbie at Robbie Veerhout on
Something
Instagram.
on Instagram.
On Instagram. Yeah, hit
Or
him
just hit us up on 1010's
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Adam. Enough stalling.
Are you ready for this?
Your face right now.
I'm pretty excited about this. I had to pick something. It's not a Dodge, but it has my Omni motor in it. All right,
This
are you
is
ready
making
for
me
this?
hurt already. I knew this was going to come up.
Obtainable
I knew
dream
this
car, and it's got a fucking
80s
Omni
Dodge
engine in it.
nonsense was going to come up.
All right, it's the Mosler Concealer GTP.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm not mad.
I'm not even quite sure what that looks
I'm
like.
not mad.
Katie, I need my phone back.
I'm not mad.
The funny thing is, so far we're 2 for 2 on buying cars that are basically the car we already own. You at
On
the
this?
No, for obtainable.
Right, for this
no,
category.
No, you don't understand. Give me 2 seconds
No,
and you'll
hear me out.
disagree with that.
So
I got a 95 240SX. My dream car is a 99
right,
Sylvia.
right.
He's
And
got a
you're-
Dodge Omni.
Right.
He wants the same engine in a different car.
in a Dodge Omni. Yeah.
This is so far from Dodge Omni.
I don't care.
This was built by Mosler.
Yeah. It's not Shelby.
I'm dying.
All right. Well, since we got to wait for his phone to load because it's an iPhone, you go.
All right, so my car is a Maserati Gran Turismo, 2008-2009.
Really?
What are you, 65?
Hey-o.
Do you even know what a Gran Turismo is?
Yeah, I used to live next to a golf course. There was one that sat there every day. The convertible?
Banging.
No, not a convertible.
want
What
the
the fuck's
convertible?
wrong with you?
I don't know.
I don't want that scuttle shake nonsense.
I don't know. I get it. I don't want the convertible either.
So I was surprised. I was gonna say the old coupe, the old Maserati coupe, because I just want some Maserati nonsense in my life. But I got on eBay, and it seems these things depreciate like rocks, and you can buy one for $50,000 with 20,000 miles on it,
Not bad.
and it's got a 4.2 liter Ferrari V8 in it.
Nice.
Mine's
And-
the cheapest.
Yeah, I'd say
His is the cheapest and the most
Obscure.
shitty.
It's obscure. It's not
Shitty.
shitty. It's actually one of the greatest cars ever made.
Oh, I know that car.
The
That's awful.
Concealer
That-
GTB.
That is awful.
Ah, fuck you, dude.
That's
So,
that's the ugliest.
That thing is ugly.
That is the
Whoa.
ugliest car on the list so far, by far.
Yeah, it's definitely you win the ugliest award so
I'm
far.
good at that. No,
The ugly duckling. There we go.
we're not done yet because you guys are going to
Oh,
argue about
Jesus.
the next one. Say it's the ugliest thing on the planet.
Oh, I'm
that's
definitely
right.
going last on the
All
next
right,
one.
Adam's going first.
All right, let's.
What's your rich guy daily driver?
Porsche Panamera Turbo S.
Stupid.
It's literally the
ugly-
ugliest car ever
It's
made.
not though. It's a good-looking car.
It's not
so,
good-looking.
So here's why I think you think it's ugly, Michael. Mostly Michael,
Because
You-
I have eyes and I'm
you
not
probably
named
just-
Ray Charles.
You probably just genuinely think it's ugly. But the reason that Michael thinks it's ugly is because he's a Top Gear fanboy, and Top Gear told him to think it was ugly.
It
and
is ugly.
therefore, He
I've
has to
seen
think
one.
it's ugly.
I will not argue with that logic
That's what he
because
thinks.
you've seen every episode. I, on the other hand, have maybe seen like 20 episodes.
Robbie's opinion of that car is
I do not. I
is
absolutely,
truly his opinion. You hate it because Jeremy Clarkson hates it.
I absolutely hate the rear ends of that car. I think it's so
Yeah.
ugly.
It's
I
got
like
this baboon ass thing
I
on the
like
back of
it.
it.
To me,
I
it
think it looks
terrible.
good.
To me, it's the PT Cruisers of,
Whoa!
of
Yes.
Porsche.
That's exactly what. No, it's
It's a
a
Porsche. It's a Porsche PT Cruiser.
It's the PT Cruiser of the German
Nope,
car.
nope, nope,
Yes,
nope,
it is.
nope.
Yes, it is.
I can't do it. There's no
It's
way.
ugly.
No way, shape, or
It's,
form.
it's
would I.
pointless. It's meant to fill a market gap. It is a car that was designed by a marketer.
Agreed.
My spec'd out version cost $230,150.
See, now I'm gonna sound so fucking boring.
You bought
Plus-
$200,000.
plus destination and all that.
You-
That's about
spent
$20,000 more than I would pay for that
$200,000 on an eyesore.
3.70 to 60, 570.
car. Doesn't matter.
horsepower.
It's your boring ass grocery getter.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
did you
it's
just say
fucking
570 horsepower?
Yeah,
You spent $200,000 on 570 horsepower.
I spent $200,000 on the most luxurious interior.
You
On
spent
this planet.
You
It's not a
spent
Range Rover
$200,000. You spent $200,000 on the car that's going to depreciate harder than any car in production.
That's fine. I won't ever sell it. I love that car too.
Wow.
death. I will be buried
I
in that
am-
fucking thing.
Here's the wonderful thing about it is it's exactly like an Audi except way, way, way more expensive.
Which
It's the
makes
same
it better.
group. It's the
Makes
same
it
group.
better.
It's going to have the same problems. It's going to be the same
It's
bullshit.
probably gonna
No, it's
burst
a
into
great car.
flames
It's probably
great
going to
car.
burst
for no
into
reason
flames.
at all.
Yeah,
Just
you'll be
going
sitting
so
there.
bad.
You'll be sitting there walking out to your car after work.
Since
it's going to
day
catch
one,
on
I
fire.
thought they were good-looking cars. I've liked them. I don't care what anybody says.
I am convinced you're the only one.
That's not true.
I am.
It's not though.
You're the only one I know.
There used to be one in Ames. It was owned by an Asian kid, obviously.
Yeah, a
and
student.
it was plastic baby blue, and I wanted to hit him. I was so mad.
I
About
might have actually liked it more than.
It would have been cooler if it was plastic dipped at least.
No, it was
All
not.
right, who goes? Me or you? Me or you?
You, because I think yours is going to be not that
It's
interesting.
super boring. Because
Toyota
my
It's a Tacoma or a Tundra.
no, I didn't even go. Mine's not even an import.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Made
What?
in
Wow.
America.
CTSV?
What the fuck is that? Cadillac? I don't drive that shit.
I don't drive this.
It's not a prototype from 2002. Anyways, my rich guy daily driver is a 2016 Hennessy Velociraptor pickup.
He's just going to buy the entire Hennessy catalog.
That's not true. Just two of them.
So here's
Think of all the
a
truck
potential
things
issue we could have had because I almost picked that.
Yeah, I kind of.
That's the best daily driver ever.
Except, then I found the Hennessy HPE 800 Cadillac
Tahoe.
Escalade.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. I would never own that car.
I'm sorry, how many horsepower is yours?
Doesn't matter.
God,
What's
here
yours?
we go.
So, does it make 805 horsepower? Because I don't think that it does, and I also don't think that it makes 827 foot-pounds of torque.
No.
0 to 60 time 4.1 seconds.
It's got to be close to that for how fucking
the other
heavy
thing-
yours is.
0.7.
The other
What's
thing
up?
is, I don't think it does a quarter mile in 12.2 seconds.
No, mine probably goes faster than that. You're right.
Mine's
I'm sorry.
Mine's a daily driver to pull my
Mine'll
race
be-
car.
I'm
I'll be
sorry.
more
The
comfy.
issue that we
I'll
have,
carry more bitches, and I'm faster.
the issue that we have is that Robbie and I are the only two that have done this. correctly.
See, so here's the
by
thing.
the
You
rules,
guys will girls will be like, I'm not gonna ride in your fucking hick truck, and
I don't
are you
care.
gonna like rape me in your rape van? No, they're gonna ride with me.
Yeah, is
in
yours
the
going to
Porsche.
come with
Robbie,
like spinners and
Robbie,
subs and shit?
Robbie.
Yeah,
Just wait,
no,
just wait.
Does it have underglow on it?
Just wait,
Did
just
you
wait.
have a hood scoop?
I'm willing to partner with Robbie on this one because we did it correctly
Oh,
and he didn't. Because
No.
the thing that he didn't. No, hold on. The thing that he didn't think of is that this is a dream car garage.
Yes.
This is our garage,
Yeah, it's my dream car.
and you have no way to pull your race car.
True story.
This isn't a complete garage.
It is because
no, it's not.
yeah, you don't have no way to pull your race car.
Then I'll drive that fucking thing. I don't give a shit.
I'm proud of you. But no,
So it's all right.
This goes back to my.
You know what? I'll pay someone to take it to the track for me. It's whatever. I'm fucking rich.
No, I stuck to the rules.
My
bought
track
a-
car's gonna need a pit crew, so
That's-
it'll be fine.
That's true. No, I stuck with the most comfortable.
It's not
realistic
comfortable.
I could drive
That
that
thing will
car
break your
every
spine.
single day.
No way, dude. That'll break your spine.
What?
It's built to like do fucking airs and launch over ditches and do
What are you talking about? It's got
shit.
like
It's not
8
comfy.
feet of suspension
Yeah,
It
travel.
doesn't
super
mean it's
co-
comfortable.
There's no way it's uncomfortable.
I bet it is.
I would argue that mine's more comfortable.
Jeremy Clarkson loved it, and that's the end of this argument.
Oh,
Moving
God,
on to the next
stupid.
one. Next category is
Stupid.
vintage.
I want to go last.
Okay.
I'll go first. I don't give a shit.
Okay. If this is a Dodge Omni variant, I swear
No,
to
dude.
God.
You're gonna love
It's a
it.
GLH variant.
There's so much cocaine happening here. You're gonna be into
Oh
this.
God! I hope it's a
It's Miami.
Countach.
It's
Is
a-
it a
it's in
It's
Countach?
not a Countach. It's way too cliche.
Okay, go.
The Vector W8.
How do I not know that car?
Oh.
Because there's only like 19 of them.
That's
in the
not
world.
that
I'm sure
interesting.
as soon as you show me a picture, I'll know it.
So it comes with like a Chevy-based V8 on low boost. It makes 650 horsepower.
No, but
On
my
its
Hennessy's
high
line.
boost, it makes 1,200 horsepower. Has a claimed top speed under high boost of 242 miles
See,
an
I'm
hour.
sick of hearing stats.
Yeah, this is vintage.
Vintage
which
is not about going
means
fast.
nothing about-
1989 to 1992.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The Vector W8.
It wants to be a Countach.
It does want to be a Countach. You're
I'd rather
correct.
just have a Countach.
No, because this thing's fucking.
Yeah, I would rather have a
Dude,
Countach as well.
so many lines.
People
of
are gonna
coke
look at
have
that and be
been
like,
bumped
"That's a
off of
fucking
that thing.
kit car."
Dude, it's sick.
Sweet kit car, bro.
Yeah,
With-
exactly.
With your Chevy V8.
Yeah,
So I don't know if these numbers.
that's way worse of a kit car than my Hennessy.
The Hennessy's better.
No fucking way. That car was hand built.
You lost. Let's move
That car
on.
was hand built.
was a Hennessy.
Andre Agassi has one. It cost him $500,000 in 1990.
Cool story for Andre
Still has
Agassi.
Ken Lingenfelter owns one.
Okay.
that?
Ken Linienfelter makes Corvettes.
Yeah, and he's got a Vector W8.
Because it's got a
Corvette engine.
Corvette motor in it.
Are you seriously arguing against a Corvette engine?
Just because it's not always the answer.
No. It is the
Anyway,
answer.
since
Okay.
he could have chosen anything and picked that, let's move on to Robbie. You want to go last?
I don't matter really. I just want to go for after Adam.
Okay.
God, I can't believe
You
I
wanna
can't
go
believe
there?
you hated on the Vector, Michael. I'm really upset with you.
You could have had anything
You
in
just-
the entire world.
You're arguing just to argue.
You don't know that, Robbie.
I do know that because if we were just like sitting here without these microphones
No.
shoved halfway down our throats, you would be like, yeah, dude,
Halfway.
that
Hey,
thing's
if
pretty
that's how
fucking
you
sweet.
want
all
to
the
put,
way.
if that's where you want to put your microphone, that's your business. Robbie, what was your car?
Yeah, mine's at the back of my throat. Anyways.
Wow.
Anyways, I had 3 cars on here, 2 of which I know could easily be on any one of our lists.
Well,
Not-
it wasn't because it's not a Vector W8.
okay, wait. Anyways,
Don't listen to him. Just
1967 Ford GT40. That could have been on any of our lists.
Yep.
1995
Yeah, okay, I'll
Ferrari
give you that.
F50.
50.
F50.
No,
Get out of
no,
here. Just-
you're
I don't
done.
even- I don't even
We
give a
are-
shit
nope,
if this
that
is
is
your
it.
house. Get the fuck
Shut
out.
that shit down.
Well, you guys picked the F40?
Yes.
Yes.
No way. I'd rather have the 50. The F50 looks so much better.
Dude, whoa.
I said it.
Whoa.
I said it.
Stop. We don't have any listeners. That's it. Sorry, people. We're done.
We're sorry.
We-
I would just want to apologize. Adam and I think that the F40 is a much better car.
We really appreciated that you listened to the first 2.5 episodes, and we'll miss you dearly.
It's so ugly.
It's
It's
bad.
the ugliest.
It is the epitome of bad.
It's the worst.
It's the worst thing Ferrari's ever made.
You were wrong.
No, the Mondial is, but
No.
it's
no,
second.
California.
No.
No, it's not even as bad as the California.
California.
Moving on. These guys are fucking
no,
terrible.
dude.
I'm not even going to argue that one.
Okay, so yeah,
Boom.
Katie agrees. It's terrible.
Fuck you guys.
I'll bet Michael would drive the Venom over that.
I don't think
That hurts.
I don't think
It's
so.
like two of my favorite things, which is push rods and Ferrari V12s.
Ferraris.
Anyways,
Okay,
my actual vintage car that I would buy is a 1967 Toyota GT 2000.
Yes. One of the best
that's a
looking
legitimate.
cars ever
That's a
made.
legitimate
Best looking
one.
car.
There's
Yeah.
no argument on any of us from that one.
Nope. We'll go with that. I've seen one in person.
You are a
Fuck
lucky
you.
man. Was it at the Concours de Elegance or whatever?
No, it was at the Chicago Auto Show. Toyota drug it out.
Really?
Bizarre. It was like, oh, what the fuck is that doing here?
It's the best car in that show.
Wow.
Yeah, probably was.
One day.
They had a Veyron too.
Who cares?
Who cares about the Veyron?
I know, it's terrible.
Notice
It's ugly.
none of us picked the Veyron for our hypercar.
Yep.
I wouldn't pick that for my daily. Or
I would buy a wrecked
obtainable
one.
dream. I wouldn't pick it
I
for
would,
anything.
I would buy a wrecked one and
Nope.
turn it into a race car.
It's too heavy.
Adam really likes as many electrical sensors as possible, apparently.
Nah, you strip that shit down, it'd be fine.
Nah, it's still too heavy. It's a luxury
no,
car.
I don't
Put
think
a
it works
small
that way.
block in and it'll be
I don't think
all
I
right.
would say just
put a
put a-
carburetor on.
Nope. We're moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Did you just say that the Veyron's pretty?
You're wrong.
I guess I don't have
Well,
a
she's out.
It
Never
kind of
mind
looks like
on
a
her
TT.
opinion.
Can I have that ring
She's
back,
not the deal
please?
breaker.
All right. Vintage.
Ferrari 250 GTO, and I would do
Shocking.
the
How
330
cliche.
330 GTO spec, which you don't know anything about, do you, Adam?
I don't need to know anything about it. It's a fucking 70s or 60s Ferrari or whatever, and it costs $35.5 million, and it sits in a bubble, and it doesn't get a speck of dust on it, and it hasn't turned over in a half a century.
It sounds like someone who's very butthurt about his Vector F14 or whatever it was called.
But Robbie agrees with me.
No, see, I
he's
would
not
do,
wrong.
I would do the 330 GTO variant, which had the 400 Super America 4-liter
you'd
V12, which
never
there's
start.
3 of.
That's
And
why you never started, because
it
you'd
was-
be afraid you'd bend a
It's not
valve.
real.
It was a Scuderia
Yes,
motor.
If you can't start it, it doesn't count.
Why would you not drive it if you had
Just
it?
as well
Thank
be
you.
a Matchbox
That's all-
car.
that's
Why would you not drive this car if you had it?
All I
Just
need
as well
to
be
hear.
a Matchbox car.
That's just based on the fact that you wouldn't drive it. I would
No,
drive it.
I would
all
drive
the
the
time.
I wouldn't
shit out of
own it. You missed the whole. I wouldn't have a chance to drive it because I would never own it.
It's very butthurt about this
I know he
Vector
is.
No.
I know he is.
F16 or whatever.
See, I don't disagree with
W8.
you. I would have picked the 330 P4.
Why?
I think it looks better.
Because race car.
I think the 250 GTO and the 330 variant's the most beautiful car they've ever made. I'm not arguing with you
I'm not
specifically, but I'm just saying
This is
for
his
me.
argument about like the '60s was the pinnacle of design or something. She's
So
got
you're
some
not wrong
crazy-
either.
Crazy
all of my
theory
vintage
about
cars
that.
are 67.
Because 60s was the
Besides
pinnacle of
Ferrari.
design because there were no crash standards. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted to. You didn't have to have bumpers.
See,
You can't argue with that.
I don't know because I don't know that those were the best looking cars. This is a road we're not.
no.
ready
So
to go
my
down.
point on that is that design is unadulterated in the 60s because you didn't have to worry about crash tests.
I'll
so you
agree
could
with that,
design
yes.
a car to look the way you
But
wanted
I don't
it
think
to
that
look.
that was the best looking cars we've ever made.
I think it's the most pure car design that we will ever see because now you have to deal with, your headlights have to be this tall and your mirrors have to be this big and your bumper has to be able to stand this crash.
But that doesn't make them the best looking ones.
It's not what I said. I said it's the most unadulterated design. A designer can design exactly what he wanted to design.
Well, I guess now I understand it differently than the way I'd originally understood what sort of point you were trying to
Thanks
make.
for taking us down this shitty road.
Yeah, before we get to our last topic or our last track day car, I've started to pick up on things.
Track day, bro.
I think you guys, your style in cars has more like sharp edges. Like you guys
You
have.
know, I love round cars. I own an Audi
you
TT.
picked the Countach replica,
Yeah, I like the W8 because it's wild and wacky and
and you
crazy.
picked the F40 over the F50.
But the F40 is a better car.
F40 is a better car in general. Yeah. But the 250 GTO is super roundy.
Okay,
It's true, it is.
that is.
So-
I agree.
So is the last generation R8, which is better looking than the current
Yeah, but that's
generation
just,
R8.
it just looks like your TT,
I know,
It's
why
a
I
big
love it.
TT.
It's a big TT. It's
which also looks
fantastic.
just like the Beetle. Moving on.
Whoa! I can't argue that. It's a chop top Beetle.
It's a terrible
Chassis
car.
and all.
Fucking horrible.
Race car. What do you got for race car, Robbie?
Can I go? You want
You want to go last?
No,
No, I need to
I'll
go
go
last.
first because you're gonna get like, oh no shit. Anyways,
Is it RB26?
Is it Japanese?
no,
It's not Japanese.
not
What's going
It's a Corvette, isn't it?
You're as soon as I say it, you're gonna be like, oh no kidding, based on your hypercar. It's a 2000.
Wait. Based on your hypercar, based on the
Just let him say it. Just let him say
Yeah,
it.
the Hennessy,
All right,
not the
just say it.
P1. Sorry. So you guys kind of went a different direction with this. I kind of went with if I was gonna pick a track day car, it'd be a car that the manufacturer intended to be on the track, but made street legal. So then I would gut it out and make it my own track only track day car. I wasn't sure what direction you guys were gonna go with this.
Not
But
sure how
anyways,
I didn't end up in a Challenger or a Stradale, but whatever.
that's a Dre car. Anyways, my pick is a 2008 Lotus Exige GT3.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's not a bad race
I
car.
like the Lotuses.
Are those
Low
supercharged?
tide, excuse me.
The Exige
yeah,
is
the Exiges
supercharged.
are supercharged.
I think it's just gorgeous.
I think isn't that the difference between the Elise and the Exige is that they're
Well,
supercharged?
they look different too.
They look a little different. I think the Exige has hardtop only.
Yeah, so just like
Are
you
they
said,
carbon?
No, I
The
doubt it.
GT3 spec one might be.
I don't know. I don't know much about the GT3 spec, I guess.
I didn't know there was a GT3 spec.
the GT4 is ugly. The GT3
You've
is
discovered
beautiful.
a car I didn't know existed.
Nah,
Congratulations.
as soon as you see a picture, you know exactly what car
Well,
it
I
is.
mean, I didn't
A
know
particular
that,
spec of a car.
I didn't know that spec
And-
existed.
Okay, and the reason I picked that is because if I could pick like any car I could take to an autocross on any given Saturday, it'd be a Lotus Exige.
The Exige would work well in any motorsport environment that we would take it to. It would work well in an autocross. It would work well in a road course. It would work well as a track day, an HPDE, a time trial, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
better,
it's got a Toyota motor in it, I think.
Yes,
which means it'd be reliable week after week, day after day. You just put tires and pads on it and move on with life.
So my Dutch is showing, and I went really boring compared
My-
to what you guys
but
did.
you know
car. I
what?
think
It's
it's
not
a
a
good race
bad
car.
idea.
No,
I think it's a
I
good
love
race
that car. I
think
really
it's a good
do.
race
My
car.
car's a worse choice, but a more interesting car.
I'm not mad about it. Go on.
I want to hear Michael's first.
Yeah, you haven't gone
Corvette
last yet.
C7R
Shocking.
Wow.
Le Mans car.
I'm not mad about that either because that thing is wide and low and sick as fuck.
And it finished 1-2 at Daytona.
That it did, and 1-2 by like .034 or something silly.
Yeah,
remember
ridiculous. Yep.
How do they run 24 hours of racing nonstop and end up less than a half a car length apart?
I can only imagine that at the end they had been following each other basically most of the time, and then at the end they went, "We got an hour left. You guys better figure out what you're doing here, and somebody better take first."
Like 10 years ago, the last 4 hours of a 24-hour race were completely uninteresting because they were just people like limping lap by lap, just trying to stay 10 laps ahead of second place, Not break the car, they're not setting any
Just
records,
finish.
they're just trying to finish. And now they are racing
Yep.
from the minute that flag drops to the minute they cross the checkered line.
It's the 60s all over again.
But they weren't racing like they are now. I don't think those cars were even that reliable.
Yeah, that's true.
But it just blows because last year the same thing happened in one of those classes at Le Mans. They changed first, second position like 3 times in the last 2 laps, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Although
race
it is a
cars.
Corvette, I accept it.
I just figure with that
pretty
car,
sick.
if I had this much money, I probably wouldn't do a lot of autocross anymore, and
That's true.
I feel like I could. That's probably the fastest car I could get without having to do tons of spares, and you know what I mean. I mean, there's going to be
It's
some of
going to
that
be way
anyway.
more
But
reliable than my choice.
yeah, I thought about a Ferrari or something like that, but I'm like, that thing's just going to constantly be a pain in the ass, and I'm going to have to hire somebody and all that. This has got 16 valves and push rods and always 24.
Has an LT in it?
So I was looking into that. It's called an LS5.R, and it's a
That's
5.
right, because I remember them saying that on Daytona. They don't have the LT engine. They don't have cleared for racing yet.
Yeah, and obviously it's a different displacement, and then it's it's 500-ish horsepower.
I think
That's enough.
I think the heads that are on those don't exist to us.
Oh, I'm sure, and who knows? It might be some weird shit like it's a different firing order. I'm sure it's a completely different motor. They just call it an LS because they can.
All right,
But
Adam.
I feel like it would be a reasonable.
Take us home, Adam.
I don't know that you'll even know what this is, Robbie.
If it's that obscure, I mean, it's not like it's the
It's not
ultimate.
super
It's not the
It better
ultimate
not
GTR.
start with. It better not start with Shelby.
It doesn't actually.
There's no way.
I said that there was more than one Audi on my list. I've only listed one. and we're at
Oh
the
man!
end.
If this is some custom built TT bullshit,
Nah,
everybody's
it's way
gonna nod
better
off.
than that.
All right, go ahead.
The Group B Audi S1 Quattro. For sure.
Are you planning on actually racing?
No,
that
I'm
in
going
any
to road
events,
race
or?
spec this thing and probably limp about track at half throttle, trying not to kill myself until something breaks 3 laps in, then park it.
So let me get this straight. You're going to take a priceless Group B.
No, I'm going to buy an Audi Quattro and build an S1 out of it. People do that. It's a thing. People do that.
I hate it.
Of course you do, but it's fucking sick.
I hate it so
You
bad.
should hear it, dude. It's
I
sick
don't-
as fuck.
I highly doubt it.
The car I love, what you're going to do to it, I hate. And
No,
then
I'm just
also,
going to buy a base model Quattro, and I'm going to build that car.
and then also the amount of broken it will be all of the time.
It will never not be broken.
I just
Even when it's like perfect, it's still broken.
No, I love them. I think they're awesome. They scream. The noises they make, they're raw. They're
I do
manually
love-
shifted. They're
I love all of that.
race car.
But how many people did it take on a team to make one run in the 80s?
All of them.
That was the 80s. We're in the the 2010s.
So
now.
you,
It's
Adam Nielsen, at 27 years old, working at
no,
a
no,
garage.
no.
This is way older
This was
than that.
my dream track car. This was no money. This was I've got 12 people standing on the sidelines under the shade of my semi-truck hauler, and there's 3 of them in there because I need a backup plan.
The best part about this is he's going to spend more on that shit car than he is his hypercar.
Fuck yeah, I am. You goddamn right.
We'll be out at Brainerd. Robbie and I will just be doing lap.
No, see, the great thing is, I'll bring the hypercar and the track car, and after 2 or 3 laps
just switch.
of the track car and it breaks down, I'll grab the hypercar and be faster.
and he'll kill himself because he didn't brake soon enough when he was doing 220 miles an hour and he hit the wall.
Yeah.
This is the worst track day ever. Whereas Robbie and I in a Corvette and the Exige will just be going round and
Consistent.
round and round and round and round and round.
I could bring any of the cars I picked and be fast on a track.
That's true. Except my
Even my
Raptor.
daily driver would be a great track.
Holy shit.
Porsche Panamera, if for those keeping track.
Can we please move on?
We
I don't
can
want to
move
hear
on.
about that car again.
It's the greatest car ever.
It's easily the worst car on the list. Then
no
there's
way,
like
dude.
3 more of yours, and then it gets...
I knew this was going to happen. I knew that you guys
Yeah.
were going to. It's all right.
right.
Katie,
What's
Katie,
Katie's?
lean into the mic.
Do we have time for
Lean
Katie's?
into the mic.
Yeah, let's do
we're just
Katie's.
going to stream through Katie's. You guys are going to yell at me for Stockholm Syndrome her, and then we're going to move on with the news.
Yeah.
Okay, so my hyper would be the McLaren P1.
Obviously.
I didn't. I told her to Google Hypercar Trinity and pick the one she liked the best based on looks.
That's fair.
My super would be the Audi R8. And before you guys even give him crap, that has always been my car before him.
I told her.
I love that
I told her
car.
pick a supercar, and she simply said, "All right."
You guys are meant to be together. Move on.
Wow.
My obtainable would be a Mini Cooper. Anybody that knows me knows I want
She
a
loves
Mini Cooper.
her.
Why would that not be your daily? Anyways, go on.
No,
'cause
my
I told her it was
daily.
rich man
My
daily.
daily has to be something that I can baby.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We have a child. We have to be more responsible.
So my daily would be the Porsche Cayenne.
Did not.
Wow.
And
What?
He gave
I
me a
encouraged her to pick something else. I even because she said she wanted an SUV, but she wanted something fancy. So I had her look at G-Wagons. I had her look at the Lexus. I had her look at
Range Rovers?
at the Range Rover. She immediately said no to the G-Wagon. She immediately said no to the Range Rover. She
The
at
Porsche
first
Cayenne
she said the Lexus was better than the Porsche,
But-
but then she changed her mind after she went and looked at an interior shot.
Wow.
The interior of that Porsche is amazing.
Your poor child being burned to death. It's just
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, that's
it
on
really
you.
is. It's
That's
sad.
on you.
I feel bad.
My
This
vintage would
metaphorical.
be a Corvette C2.
She likes the C2.
I
Yes.
really do. It's really pretty.
After she saw
It is a
that
very
one
pretty car.
at Carl's open house, she loved it.
Yep, fair enough.
And my track day would be a BMW Z3M. One of the people that we
So I asked
raced
her-
with,
I'm
love
sorry.
that.
So I
Wait a
asked her.
minute.
No.
No.
So just
No.
let me explain. All right.
There should be no explanation coming from you because she should have come up with that by herself.
She did. So what I said, because I wasn't really sure how she was going to get to a track car. So I said, think of all the cars that you have seen at race events with me, and tell me the one you liked best. And she goes, I really like Randy's car. Which
Said
is
no
which
one
is a Z3.
ever.
It's a clown shoe.
I don't like that car.
I like the clown shoe.
I don't.
It's goofy looking. It was fun to drive.
See, to me, it's kind of like your Panamera. It's just that back end just ruins it.
It's a clown shoe.
To me, that's not my
It looks
style.
like a clown shoe.
I don't like it.
It's a good thing.
I don't like
not
And then,
bad.
of course, he's super fast, and it makes me sad because
Yeah,
he's so
he's
much better
quick.
than
Oh,
me.
it's a fast car. It's
for sale. 11 gur.
I don't want that. I'm sure he drives the shit out of it. Anyways.
all right. So we're gonna do some news topics.
Yeah,
Shit in the news.
Yeah.
So we had a list of stuff we were gonna do for news.
Yep,
We're
I
kind
got
of
the
like
list.
over
All right,
time.
let's do it.
We're
Real
kind of
quick.
over time.
Let's drop off the last one.
Yep.
Which is what?
The EPA.
No, I think we need to talk about that because I actually researched that.
But I thought you wanted to talk
We were
about
way
that
over
at length
time.
next week.
Yeah, but people not being able to park Chryslers is not that interesting.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that statement.
All right, do the first one then, Adam.
All right, so Castrol came out with this thing. They put it in the Aston Martin Vulcan.
Yep.
It is basically like an oil change as if you were making a cup of coffee with a Keurig. There's like this little container. You snap it in place. It's the filter. It's the oil. It's all the capacity of the oil except probably what's still in a little bit that's in the motor. It's a dry sump system, so a majority of it is not in the motor when the car's off. I think it's really cool because it makes your oil changes take 30 seconds instead of 3 hours in a parking garage.
It's not an Audi.
It's not an Audi, which is even better, even though I picked 2 Audis. But
Terrible.
it's cool because it's the future of it's what we can look at as the future. It makes it easier to recycle the oil because it's contained and they know what kind it is. Apparently, when oils are mixed, like they are when you bring them in, they have to be more careful about the way they recycle it because when you have different oil weights and synthetic versus non-synthetic and it's all mixed together, it's harder to recycle that way, which means they can do a better job of recycling it, which means that we can lengthen out the amount of time we have before we don't have it anymore. And as much as I don't want to go down that path, I think that's something that we as car people need to understand and embrace. And it's easy. I like easy. It's mess-free. I need that in my life because I've got enough of a mess going on. It's a pretty cool idea.
I like
Go
it.
Castrol.
I think it's cool, and the cool thing is that it's going to promote dry sump technology in like everyday cars. So I think
Who doesn't want that?
it'll make dry sump a lot cheaper
It
and
means they
easier
can
to
get the
obtain.
engines lower in the engine bay. We can lower our center of gravity. We can go faster. We can handle better race car.
Absolutely. Is that it?
My concern with it though is that like Keurig, it's going to be fucking wasteful.
Oh, it's going to be so expensive.
Yep. Because you
Yeah,
do a cup of
there'll
coffee,
be
you throw your
knockoffs
Keurig
and stuff. I'm
thing away.
sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's going to be like.
Well, the
for-
whole idea is that it makes it easier for you to recycle it because
Right, but
it's,
not the
because
plastic
it's
containers.
self-contained.
Well-
I would imagine that they're probably reusable.
hopefully.
Yeah.
If they designed it with any intelligence, it should be reusable.
Yeah, 'cause
A
it's
Keurig
got-
would
it's
be
gotta be
hard
more
to do that.
durable
But this,
than Keurig,
this
but-
since you're bringing it in and you're recycling it, they should be able to drain the used oil out of it, fill it back up with new oil, and give it back to you.
Hopefully.
Hell, you might just get one
Or
or two.
Yep.
Or they just take them back to the refactory and
Yeah.
you have to turn
like
in
a core
core
charge.
You have to do.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't
Yeah.
work very well, would it?
Why not?
How are you supposed to get the core to? If you have one car, how are you supposed to get your
Get a
car
spare.
to the shop?
You could do it in the parking lot at the parts store like you're getting wiper blades. That's the great part about it.
I suppose you could.
I do like it. I do.
You need your soccer mom in your VW Sport Wagon TDI. That's a dig it. You know who I'm digging. But you pull into the advanced, and you go, I need my oil change in my wiper blades, and two guys
They do
come
it
out
for you.
there and they throw you new oil, they throw on new wiper blades, they charge you $250, and you leave.
The filter's in the little packet.
Filter's in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so.
It's all
Yeah,
self-contained.
You get rid of the whole quick lube thing, which I know
It's
that would.
not a bad thing.
Yeah,
I know.
kills a.
It gets rid of that business, but well, maybe not though. I don't know.
I think it just makes that business more efficient.
Yeah. Now
You could pull through that. Maybe that's where they sell them.
Right.
Instead of selling them at a parts store, you sell them at those quick lube places, and you literally do just drive through.
right, and it would be cheaper and easier for the store because they don't have to build an inspection pit or a lift. They don't have to do any of that. All you have
Yep.
to do is pull that thing out and go.
There's a lot of positives.
It's a good idea.
EPA.
All right. We got to talk about this EPA thing. Did anybody else research this or just
I did a little bit
I
of
read
research
into it, but not enough to
and I think
add to it.
that it's very bad.
So we made
but
a
I
post.
don't think it's as bad as people exploded about last night on it.
Well, I have a problem with it fundamentally, even if it's not that
I
bad.
agree
now.
with that statement.
So the issue is really that SEMA came out with last night, and is today Tuesday, the 9th?
Today is Tuesday the 9th.
So SEMA came out with this statement saying that supposedly the EPA was going to ban turning road cars into race cars. That's effectively what it's
Track-only cars.
And that would mean cars that you don't drive on the road anymore. You get rid of the registration. It's a trailer-only car. Goes through the track, goes back in the trailer, goes home.
So that kills off Lemons, Chump, most any spec thing. Any budget grassroots motorsport, that will all but kill as it stands today.
Right. And the other issue with that, and I think the real issue that SEMA has with it, is that manufacturers make parts that maybe don't necessarily meet current emission standards, but there's no way that they could say this part is for race-only use if that's not allowable by the EPA anymore. Because I'm sure that some of us are guilty of using race-only parts on a car that we drive on the street.
I would not my 240.
So that's the real issue. And
None of us here, I'm sure that
drive
all
street
of our
legal
cars
vehicles.
would pass smog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you and I, Adam, probably don't have to pass smog because
See, that's the thing. I couldn't find that information, and you know, if this continues and it gets more serious, I'm sure it'll come out. And I don't know what the cutoff point is. Years, like if we lived in say California and I had to get my car smogged, would my Omni fall under that? Just like a less severe.
Right. So the real issue is that in the past, SEMA has had an agreement with the EPA. I think it was more of a gentleman's agreement that
A handshake.
they were not going to come after race cars. So now the EPA has come out with a statement, which I need to do some more research on this from what I was reading about it today. It sounds like they grouped it in with some shit they did earlier in 2015.
They always group this shit in with other stuff.
The issue is they changed the definition of what they cover, and now they're saying that they do have jurisdiction over race cars, even though you don't have to register them on the street. And so now what they're saying is that even though these are competition race-only cars, those engines are not excluded anymore. So if they pass this new bill that they're working on, and by the way, from what I understand is that this does not have to go to a congressional vote. So if the EPA decides that this is what they're going to do, there's nothing we can do about it other than lobby the EPA. That's the real issue, is that this is not representative of
so writing
of
our
the
congressmen
people.
would do very little other than just getting maybe some pressure from Congress for the EPA not to do it.
I think we need to do everything in our power to pressure the EPA, and obviously, you know, SEMA has attorneys. It's a big organization. They have an on-staff attorney.
I have one of the guys I work with who is not a car guy in any way, shape, or form, but I expressed my dislike for this at lunch, had an interesting thought on what he thinks may or may not be happening that we could discuss here shortly. But
Okay. Oh, well, I mean, that was kind of it for me. It's the EPA's kind of changed their mind about what it is they're going to cover. SEMA's pissed about that. Obviously, SEMA has a lot to lose because of this, which is basically their entire business because they because
I mean,
it's anything that affects emissions. So if you, I mean anything, it could be a cold air,
the turbo kit on my S10,
right?
which, you know, I have 100% factory exhaust except for a 2.5 foot long chunk that was taken out, and the turbo kit is placed in its spot.
Right.
I have the cat. I have the original muffler. The whole truck is stock otherwise.
Right.
But that would probably not pass.
No, would not pass.
Probably.
So now the argument you could make is, okay, yeah, times are what they are. You can still do other modifications to the car. I mean, you can go nuts with.
So I think if this passed, what would probably end up happening is you would end up with people who are more like what I think a lot of people are in like Britain or other foreign countries, where if you want a faster car than what you have, you don't modify the car you have, you sell it and buy a faster one. You know, Jeremy Clarkson has on more than one occasion on Top Gear expressed his confusion with people heavily modifying cars. Why would you take a $20,000 car and dump $20,000 into it to make it as fast as a $40,000 car when you could have just bought that $40,000 car? And I think that's probably what's going to end up being the more common approach if this actually passes.
Yeah, that's true. And then the only thing you're going to be able to do are suspension and weight modifications.
All of a sudden,
and things like
street
that.
touring gets even more popular than it already is.
Right. So my fundamental issue with this is that if this passes, we're allowing the government to
say what I
fuck
can
around
do
with our race cars. Right. So they're
and this isn't even just race cars. This is to me, this is the whole problem with our government today, is that they wildly overstep their boundaries and tell me what I am allowed to do with my stuff. I'm not endangering anyone. I'm not hurting anyone. Leave me the fuck alone.
Right, and their argument is that you are endangering somebody. You know, you're spewing your toxic emissions and you're going to kill everybody, and it's completely your fault.
I would guarantee you that a semi truck cruising down the road is going to create more harmful emissions than my race car ever will.
Well, so that's all wrapped in with this particular proposal. The whole thing is about heavy duty vehicles.
Yeah, it's huge.
So this has gotten lumped in there in some way. I've not read this almost 700-page document, but it's mainly about trucks. And so they're trying to crack down on that as well, which we do need to do that. I understand the need for that, but stay away from my race cars, I guess. That's all I have to say.
I think you should just stay away from everybody's stuff. If they're not hurting anybody, they're not doing anything. The grand scheme of things, it's so negligible. Just leave us alone. So
I would encourage everybody, even if you're not interested in politics, I'd do some research on this and see what you can do to try to protect our hobby and our sport at a minimum. Like I said, if you don't want to align yourself with a political party, you don't want to watch election coverage, any of that stuff, I totally get that, but I think this is something that we all need to be more informed about, and we need to do whatever it is that we can to voice our opinion to the EPA, even though apparently they don't need any congressional approval to do this. But we need to see what we can do. And as this develops more, we'll try to get some more legitimate, informed information out to the people that do listen to this podcast and read our page, so that you don't have to dig around in thousands and thousands of pages of government documents
that don't make a fucking bit of sense.
Nope.
So vague.
Not at all.
So one little closing thought from a non-car guy perspective on this EPA SEMA thing. One of the guys I work with suggested SEMA is a lobbying group. They don't have a stream of income. They get money from manufacturers, from people like you and I, to help make sure that the government doesn't do what they're doing right now, or trying to do right now. So one of the things that he stated is that a lot of times when you see stuff like this from any lobby group, where all of a sudden they blow this thing up and they just shit goes through the roof. All of a sudden, if you could look into their financials, I'm sure that there's a ton of money being thrown at them to try and prevent this from happening. And what he is suggesting, and I hope to God he's right, and this is an interesting viewpoint because this is from a non-car guy perspective, is what he's suggesting is SEMA sees this. Chances are the EPA isn't going to do it because someone's going to say, you're treading in an area you shouldn't be in. But SEMA's using this as an opportunity to bolster their bank account, to get some more money from OEMs, from us, from whatever, because they need the money, because that's how they get it. It's an interesting thought, and I hope to God that that's in some way, small, shape, or form true, but it's scary no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
Even if that is the case, they still stated that fact, and that means that someone's thinking about it, and even if it doesn't happen today, it's very unlikely that it won't happen someday.
Yeah, fighting for it no matter what.
Very true. All right, you can find us at 10 Tenths Podcast on Facebook, 10tenthspodcast.com, number 10 Tenths Podcast on Twitter, and then 10 Tenths Podcast on Instagram. Pretty straightforward. Anything else?
I'm good.
Let's wrap this bitch up. Thanks, guys.
Go work on your race cars. That season's rapidly drawing near.
Yeah, very true. All right, we'll catch you next time.